11th subject physics, 4th chapter laws of motion. From the chapter, let us see types of forces. So from this, the fundamental forces in nature. So which are the fundamental forces in nature that we will have to study? So all the forces in nature are classified into four different categories. That is, there are four fundamental forces in nature, and these are gravitational force, second electromagnetic, in short called as EM force, third strong nuclear force, and fourth weak nuclear force. So let us see these four fundamental forces in nature one by one. So the very first force is gravitational force. Gravitational force, the force of attraction between 2 point masses separated by some distance is called as gravitational force. The force of attraction between the point masses separated by a distance is called as gravitational force. The magnitude of this force F between 2 point masses m1 and m2 separated by a distance r is given as the magnitude of force F is equal to g m1 m2 upon r square. Now this formula is obtained as the magnitude of this gravitational force F is directly proportional to product of the two masses, that is m1 m2, and it is inversely proportional to square of distance between them, that is r square, and this condition is given by Newton's law of gravitation, and therefore we can write the magnitude of force will be proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. Then that proportionality constant is taken as g, where this capital G represents the gravitational constant and whose value is g equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 SI units, that is Newton meter square per kilogram square. So this formula gives the magnitude of the gravitational force, that is equal to g m1 m2 upon r square. Then if you consider this gravitational force, that is F equal to g m1 m2 upon r square, then this force is the weakest force of all the forces, and it is long range force. Though it is weakest force, it is long range force, that is it is effective for large distances, and therefore it is long range force. Then this force is always attractive. There will be attraction between the two masses, and therefore this force is always attractive. Then the structure of the universe is governed by this gravitational force. So the gravitational force is important in the structure of the universe. For example, the gravitational force exerted by the earth on any body, that is the weight of the body, W will be given as, this W will represent the weight of the body, that is the gravitational force exerted by the earth, that will be given as gmm upon r square, where g is gravitational constant, capital M will represent mass of the earth, m will represent mass of the body which is placed on the earth's surface, and r represents the radius of the earth, that will represent the distance between m and m, that is the distance between the earth and the body, and therefore it will be written as m into gm by r square. m into gm by r square, but this bracketed term gm upon r square is nothing but g, that is acceleration due to gravity, and therefore that w will be equal to mg, where g is gm by r square. Then the value of small g can be calculated, that is acceleration due to gravity will be calculated by putting the values of g, m and r. So value of g is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. Then mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kilogram, and radius of the earth is 6400 kilometer. So the value of g can be calculated as g equal to gm by r square, that will be equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 into 10 raised to 24 divided by radius will be converted into meter, and it will be 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 its square. Simplifying this, we will get value of small g, that is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So this value represents 9.8 meter per second square as the value of acceleration due to gravity, that is small g. Now all individual bodies also exert the gravitational force on each other. So if you consider any two bodies in the universe, there will be gravitational force between them, but this force is too small compared to that of exerted by the earth. So this will be regarding the gravitational force. Then let us consider the second type of the fundamental forces, that is electromagnetic EM forces. Electromagnetic force. The force of attraction or repulsion between electrically charged particles separated by some distance is called as electromagnetic force. The force of attraction or repulsion between electrically charged particles separated by some distance is called as electromagnetic force. These forces are stronger than the gravitational force. Similarly, the force of friction, normal reaction, tension in the strings, collision forces, then elastic forces, viscosity in case of liquids, these are the examples of the electromagnetic forces. Under the action of these forces, there is deformation of the bodies that changes the intermolecular distances, producing the reaction forces. So these forces are attractive as well as repulsive forces. Attractive as well as repulsive forces. And now let us see the third fundamental force, that is strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force. The force which binds the nucleons together inside the nucleus of an atom is called as strong nuclear force. The force which binds the nucleons together inside the nucleus of an atom is called as strong nuclear force. That is, the fundamental particles of an atom which are in the nucleus, like protons and neutrons, these particles will be bound together inside the nucleus of that atom due to strong nuclear force. It is the strongest force of all the fundamental forces and is short range force, that is, it will be effective for short distances, and this force is charge independent force. It will not depend upon the charge. Then fourth fundamental force is weak nuclear force. weak nuclear force. The interaction between the subatomic particles of an atom which will be responsible for the radioactive decay of the atoms. The force is responsible for radioactive decay of atoms in the form of particularly beta emission is called as the weak nuclear force. The interaction between the subatomic particles of an atom which is responsible for the radioactive decay of atoms, in particular beta emission, is called as the weak nuclear force. So these forces will be between the subatomic particles which are responsible for radioactive decay, that is emission of beta particles. Then beta rays will be emitted in this case, and the force responsible for it will be weak nuclear force. Now this force is stronger than gravitational force and weaker than the strong nuclear force and the electromagnetic force. Now the range of this weak nuclear force is also small. So these are four fundamental forces in nature. Now let us see what is contact and non-contact forces. Contact and non-contact forces. The forces resulting only due to the contact between the bodies are called as contact forces. The forces which are resulting due to the physical contact between the two bodies are called as the contact forces. That means for the contact forces, the body must be physically in contact with each other. All these forces are electromagnetic in nature, arising due to some deformation. When there is deformation of the bodies, then these forces will exist in the form of electromagnetic forces. For example, normal reaction exerted by any surface, then forces due to collision between the bodies, then force of friction are some of the examples of these contact forces. On the other hand, the forces resulting even if the bodies are distant, that is separated from each other, or physically separated, are called as the non-contact forces. The forces resulting even if the bodies are distant or physically separated are called as non-contact forces. For example, gravitational force, electrostatic force, then magnetostatic force, etc. are the examples of the non-contact forces, because in case of gravitational force, the two bodies will be separated from each other. In case of electrostatic force, the charges will be separated from each other. In case of magnetostatic forces, the magnetic poles of the magnet will be separated by some distance, and therefore these forces are non-contact forces. And now let us see what are the real and pseudo forces. So real force and pseudo force. Pseudo force is nothing but non-real force, and therefore what are these forces? The forces which exist due to some interaction between two bodies and obey Newton's laws of motion are called as real forces. The forces which exist due to some interaction between the two bodies and obey Newton's laws of motion are called as real forces. Already we have seen that in case of inertial frame of reference, Newton's laws of motion is obeyed, and therefore these forces are called as real forces. For example, all fundamental forces, that is gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, these forces are the real forces. On the other hand, the non-real forces are called as pseudo forces. Remember, these forces are not imaginary forces, but simply these forces are non-real forces. The force enables us, this pseudo force enables us to apply Newton's laws of motion to non-inertial frame of reference. Already we have seen that in case of the second frame of reference, that is non-inertial frame of reference, Newton's laws are not applicable, but by considering the concept of these pseudo forces, we can apply Newton's law of motion to this non-inertial frame of reference. Now let us consider one example as the illustration here. So in this illustration we will consider a lift and a person is moving upward and downward through that lift. Now during the downward motion of the lift, so if suppose that lift along with that person is coming down, so during the downward motion of the lift, both acceleration A of the lift and the acceleration due to gravity G are in the same direction, that is directed in the downward direction. So when the lift is coming downwards, at that time acceleration of the lift and acceleration due to gravity, that is A and G, both are in the same direction, that is in the downward direction. At that time the acceleration of the lift will be taken as minus A, and therefore the weight, the resultant weight W will be equal to mg, that is the weight of that person, plus minus ma, so that W will be equal to mg minus ma, which will represent that the weight of the person is decreased by this factor ma, that is nothing but there will be loss of weight. So there will be loss in weight of that person, and therefore from this condition we can say that during downward motion of the lift there will be feeling of loss in weight by that person. Now instead of that, if suppose that lift is moving upwards, and therefore during upward motion of the lift, both the acceleration A of the lift and acceleration due to gravity G are now directed oppositely. That is, as lift is moving upwards, its acceleration A will be directed in the upward direction and acceleration due to gravity will be directed in the downward direction. In this case, the acceleration of the lift A will be taken as positive as it is directed in the upward direction, and therefore the resultant weight W will be equal to mg plus ma. W will be equal to mg plus ma, that is W is equal to mg plus ma, which will represent that there is feeling of gain in weight. So in this case, if the lift is moving upwards, then there will be feeling of gain in weight by that person. So from these two relations it is clear that when the lift is moving downwards, there is feeling of loss in weight by that person, and when the lift is moving upward, there will be feeling of gain in weight by that person.